On Monday, New Mexico will celebrate the contributions of indigenous people to the state. Earlier this year, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed a bill to officially replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. New Mexico has joined a handful of states to scrap the federal observance, which Native people say represents genocide, and instead choose to celebrate tribal cultures. Our state is home to more than 200,000 Native Americans from not only the state's 23 Native nations, but from other tribes as well. And NMIF correspondent Antonia Gonzalez sits down with three people who embrace and share their Native culture as we look ahead to the inaugural New Mexico holiday.
Joining me now are Jalen Atsey, founder of Rock Your Mocks, Emmett Shkimi Garcia, a storyteller, educator, and musician, and hip-hop artist Defy. Welcome to New Mexico PBS.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And New Mexico is prepared to celebrate the first official Indigenous Peoples holiday. Jalen, let's start with you. How are you going to celebrate?
I will actually be at work, but I feel I celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day through my work. I work with youth from 18 to 25, and we do conservation work, thinning with chainsaws, trail restoration, cultural preservation. So we work with the National Forest Service, National Park Service, and so I feel that we are stewardess of the land, so I feel we're celebrating that way.
And Shkimi, how about you?
Well, Indigenous Peoples Day to me really represents enlightening the country on who we are as modern Indigenous people, our history, and where we're going. I think it's really important, and I'm excited about it, that our state is celebrating the very first Indigenous Peoples Day, because it gives an opportunity to create awareness, discussion, not only with school children, but the rest of America, and who we are and our contributions to this country.
And Defy, how are you going to celebrate?
I will be in New York City performing alongside many other Indigenous brothers and sisters on Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm very excited, but very also happy to be here.
And Shkimi, you had mentioned the education part about it, and a lot of work that people do here in New Mexico is the educating. You're a storyteller, educator, musician, and so part of your work is educating both the Native and non-Native community. Why is that important?
Well, I feel as a storyteller, well, storytelling traditionally is just sharing information about oral history, because many tribal histories aren't written, and so through storytelling we're able to share where we came from, where we came into the world, how we eventually ended up where we're at now. Then also through the animal stories, which are the fun stories, but there's also a message of empowerment, how to share, how to treat each other respectfully. And then there's the stories of our traditions and culture, songs and heroic legends of how our people survived, such as the Pueblo Revolt. But anyway, during storytelling, it gives me an opportunity to share, as I call it, educate one person at a time, and sharing who we are as Pueblo people. And most of the history I share is from a Pueblo perspective, being that I'm a tribal member of the Pueblo Santa Ana and also Jemez. I'm able to share that story of how we survived and our contributions to the state. So I always take time for a question and answer from whatever audience I share stories with, whether it be at a resort, on my homelands, or in schools. But I think it's really just important for all of us to educate through whatever work, as Jalen said, through conservation work, through storytelling, through hip hop, however it may be. We all just chipped in and we're able to educate. I think that'll be our celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day and celebration. Yeah.
And Jalen, you embraced your Native pride. You created Rock Your Mocks, which is coming up in November. Why did you decide to do that?
I just wanted to show cultural awareness to those who don't, there's so much diversity within our own culture that I feel that, when you put your moccasins on, you automatically become an ambassador for your people, because people are going to ask you questions like, what are those? And you can tell them, depending what part of the region you're from, it goes back to what kind of animal they are, your moccasins. I just feel that, people need to be educated about our culture too.
And Defy as a MC, producer, beat maker, you do a lot of work with communities too. Why is it important for especially youth to embrace their native identity, their native culture, and celebrate?
I feel like it's very important for youth to celebrate their, retaining their cultural identity. For me as a hip hop artist, I come from a cultural standpoint. I'm a Dene Nation. I'm from the Dene Nation, but also hip hop is my second culture, so to speak. And so coming from, I guess you would say, been in these two different worlds, a lot of times indigenous youth we deal with a lot of adversities in rural communities, also in urban communities, and I encourage youth to follow their passions but also retain their cultural identity through hip-hop as well.
What about dispelling stereotypes? Like, what are some of the questions that you get answered or asked and you answer?
Oh my gosh, I could write a whole book on that. I do a lot of, like I said, storytelling on diverse audiences. Sometimes I have like CEOs of companies, and they say, tell these stories to these people that have no knowledge or even care about who Native people are or what we went through. Just don't, and almost feel like a sense of guilt, but they don't want to even deal with it, and just kind of, and their only knowledge of who Native Americans are from Hollywood, what they saw on TV, and so it's like, oh my gosh, I have so much work ahead of me. And so when I approach a lot of these audiences, I hear everything from, I'll say, our village is right there across the river, and I've heard everyone say, oh, I can see the wood smoke coming from your fires. Or they'll say, recently, the latest one was, oh, we're going to learn the rain dance. And so it takes all the effort for me to not get angry about it and not think of it as being an attack on me or our people. I always just try to take the high road and try to educate and try to remain calm and just know that I'm going to have to educate these people one by one. And so by dispelling the stereotypes, I think really it's just on the ground community effort. It's just, like I said, educating one person at a time and just trying our best just to, through work like hip hop or whatever it may be, your work, doing what we're doing here is dispelling those stereotypes by us just being here and being able to have a voice to talk about who we are as American people, Native Americans.
And Defy, you're shaking your head about dispelling stereotypes. How do you see that, or how do you do that in the work that you do?
Yeah, I feel like I just want to kick a verse to answer that question, or at least share some of my work. But
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Peace to all my tribe people, dark-skinned fly eagle, five-fingered being, breathe and keep your minds peaceful. Couldn't afford the jewel in 1944 when the 4th of June, boarding school while in a boarding school, forced to move, got chores and more sports in a dorm, but only one course of food. Fire chief kept the wood burning before morning, outside the outhouse early at 4:40. Past the sheep rug on the floor by the door when the dormitory, escaped through the corridors and explored with my war pony. Here to take it back home, cause y'all know the residue. Scrub the resin off your faces and scrape away the residue. Peep my resume like beams, our people resonate. We're resolute, sacred and stoic, able to cope with all the pain that we soak in. The next generation's awoken. But before this reservation was our home, you know the nation was stolen. I'm in a sweat lodge seeing a vision. It's like I'm back out the womb dreaming of grandmother moon in a fetal position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jalen, working with youth, they probably would, understand what Defy is talking about in his lyrics, and working with the youth and talking about dispelling stereotypes. With culture changing, how do you see yourself still holding tight to your native culture, but also working in everyday life?
I think it's, I guess, in sense of balance in both. I stay very active in my culture and tradition back home, just so that I can have that little bit of peace to, pass on to my niece who is 9. She sees me doing those things, and, she tells me she wants to be like me someday. As far as dancing, she wants like even as far as our clothes, like I can't wait to our clothes that we dance with. She's like, I can't wait to go get a new pattern for a new dress so I can dance, just things like that. And then balancing, with the modern society, it's kind of like that's why I chose the job I did. Is to, I was always taught to come home or to go out, and then when I come home, teach what I taught or what I was taught to, the youth, and that's what I do through my job, which is conservation work. And so we talk about how we balance those things also, what's going on in our communities, and, try to have bring that conversation to the table. And when they go back, they have a piece of knowledge that they learned also with, conservation that they can take back. And it just intertwines in that way, having those conversations.
And Shkemi, as somebody who lives the same life as both, doing your traditional lifestyle in your communities, but also with your work as a storyteller and musician and all the other events you do, add to what Jalen's saying.
Yeah, it's true. There's that notion that we live in two worlds, and yeah, I know we have our mainstream life, we have our jobs, we have our work, and then we have our cultural life, and but sometimes I like to think of it as one world. Like we bring our culture and identity and our language into everything we do. It doesn't matter where we go, we take our people with us. We're not always alone, and so I think of it as when I'm out there performing, whether it's with Native Roots or it's with storytelling, and oh gosh, got so many other things we do. Everything I've chosen to do is based on this one question, is enlightening people about who we are and who we are as modern people and what our struggles have been. So my daily life every day in creating legends and writing lyrics and writing books, constantly thinking of what kinds of discussions we can have and sharing who we are is very important to me. In fact, my whole life is centered around indigeneity, around education, and so I get chosen a lot to go to schools or do presentations on this kind of discussion. And like I said, I've heard it all, and as I hear new things, it helps me to constantly think about how I can approach certain questions, and I'll do research, I'll Google. I'm kind of a self-proclaimed historian, so I'm always reading up on new history about different tribes, and 500 some odd tribes, and every single one has a different story. And so it's really fascinating to me to learn so much about who we are as Native people.
And so what if the general public watching this, if they want to learn about tribes here in New Mexico, just real quick, where can they start? Or how should they start in a respectful manner?
I know it's hard because everyone has a history in this country, not only Native Americans, but recently, yesterday, we were at the Balloon Fiesta, and this lady came up with these 3 little blonde girls, and she said, what are these dances represent? And they were doing eagle dances. And at first I was a bit turned off. I was just like, well, isn't it obvious they're doing the eagle dance? Yeah, but what does this mean? And I was kind of a bit standoffish. I said, well, it's blessings for all. And then she kind of had a look like, I'm not getting any information out of this person. And then she said, well, I'm asking this question for my children, these little ones, and they have these little bright eyes, and they were looking at me like they just wanted to know. And I said, oh my gosh, this is my chance to educate. So I said, okay, so the eagle, and I went on the whole tangent about how eagles are important to our people, how they fly highest in the sky, they're our national bird, how we are the only two able to possess eagle feathers, how they're taken care of. I went on this 10-minute discussion with these little kids, and they were just eating it up. And she goes, thank you, this is how I educate my kids, is by having them come and understand. And so thank you for taking this time to talk with them. And at first I didn't, my standard for most natives is, don't ask me nothing, I don't want to tell you anything about who we are or what we do. But then again, on the other perspective is, well, then how will they know?
Right.
You know, and so that continuation of stereotyping continues. So that's why I said, if you just take that time to have that discussion and share openly, then perhaps it'll open another child's mind.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us today, and to the first official Indigenous Peoples Day here in New Mexico. Perfect. And I want to turn it to Defy to end us with some lyrics.
My natives, if you're really dedicated and creative, you can make it out of reservation. Lessons from the sacred, blessed and educated, preservation of wisdom, ancient, encrypted in inner vision. It was written verbatim, but they can't alter natives with alternatives and ultimatums. They say our culture's dated. Try to help our own while our own have hated on our own that made it out the home invaded. Feeling like there's no escaping, still I'm on the road to make it. Cultivated your skill and your will to stay motivated. I can see the ocean wave and keep going and know you'll make it rolling on the road of pavement. PBS, res life could be problematic and cause some static if you caught up in the madness with alcoholic habits. A lot of addicts out of balance and dealing with the loss is tragic and traumatic. Am I what you call a savage? I'm repping for my reservation, every nation. We got to make it better for each generation. Regenerated together, no separation. Or are we really headed for a desolation? My tribe and village survived the pillage. They tried to kill us, but time will heal us alive. And we cry no rivers. They arrived at Plymouth disguised as pilgrims. We tried to give it supply to spinach, but they lied like villains. I'm building for the lives of spirits. Open your minds with lyrics. I wrote a rhyme, the lies are finished. I want to see my natives own their own business. Overthrow the system, roll and go the distance. North Dakota living, breaking borders and the limits. I'm ignoring all you critics. We are more than just exhibits. Pouring out these lyrics like ceremonial ashes. Praying for a home with no territorial clashes. Won't abandon my band of bandits. My fam is savage from a land that's lavish. Had to get it the way we knew it and made a movement. Thanking the creator for music, I'm staying rooted. Sacred like an ancient ruin, prayer therapeutic. Reclaim our future, we are faces of the muted. Powwow in the White House, in the power outer, so we're wilding with the lights out. Spitting on this mic loud, feeling proud in my light brown skin. May our culture and traditions never dry out. The president is a puppet in public, ain't really running the government. They cover up and cut it like budgets so corrupt.